yeah, one day I decided, you know what? I don't have a song to sing. I'll just upload a Filipino comedy skit. And that is what went viral. And then as soon as I got the audience, I'm like, okay, guys, so I sing. Let me upload, covers and stuff. But people would want and request more Filipino comedy. So then I started to realize that, the channel actually has a purpose. People are resonating with the Filipino content. And I kept going with it. And turns out I started to go viral as a comedian. And I enjoyed that. That was just an interesting curveball from the universe.
So did you have to develop that talent? I mean,
I did.
Was there like a light bulb that kind of lit and told you, I want to be funny now? Or was this something that was, within you early on?
Correct. Being a comedian was not on my bingo card at all. Like, I'm not the one at the party to make people laugh. I'm the one laughing at my cousins who are natural comedians. And it was just a skill that I kind of developed on the fly, I suppose. Like the thought of doing stand-up comedy freaks me out. But YouTube comedy and editing and all of that came sort of like as a learning curve for me that I ended up doing well in, I suppose.
So you haven't done stand-up comedy?
No, I do it in my shows now. But my main background is for entertainment is singing. But I've discovered that people find me funny too, so it works.
All of your comedy about being Filipino, of course, it came from your direct experience. This is not something that you had to research.
Yeah, I mean, it's all based on real life experience with my family and my parents as my main inspiration. And I think growing up Canadian and Filipino allowed me to see the differences. So I already could see what was good and funny material just by looking at my parents and being like, that's different, the way we use a fork and spoon. And when I go to my neighbor's place, they only use a fork. Like things like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, all of these things, what makes it interesting, I guess, is for a lot of Filipinos watching you, we don't even think about these things as being unique. I mean, it's just a normal part of life. But then because you grew up in a different society and culture, you know that it's different. And so you kind of highlight these things and then make Filipinos think about their own uniqueness in this, multicultural world.
I think what resonated with Filipinos everywhere was that we all have this common thread in so many different ways of life, just no matter where in the world we're from, we might be very different in a lot of ways, come from very different countries, but there's some Filipino-ness that kind of like we all relate to and we find funny because it's true. It's that kind of humor of like, oh, that's so true.